Solo was like, hold on. And you see that miss spurring out like, hey, try me if you want to, like a rattlesnake coiled up, ready to strike. Shinsuke was like, don't go there. I got that thing on me, and I'm not afraid of you.
You picked the right one today.
Right.
Solo was like, nah, Jacob, nah, this ain't the one, big dog.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
He was like, hey, look, Jacob, you might be strong, bro, but everybody's eyes work the same.
Yo, on mamas. That was crazy.
Very, very. I definitely like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Shinsuke does with the title. Where does LA Knight go from here? Does he go into a main event program, or does he continue to try to get back the U.S. title? That's a great question. I honestly can't answer it, but we'll see. Triple H knows how to make things work when it comes to that mid-card, so I'm expecting that he'll probably hang around for a little bit until Cody loses the title, because I think that if I had to guess, I say maybe LA Knight might be next up, but then again, there's always Roman. Then who knows? And then they might do a switch. Cody might go to Raw and Gunther might go to SmackDown, which means that LA Knight might go for the world title. So we'll see. It's a lot of things happening, in this next year.
At the end of this episode, we gotta have that conversation about who we think is winning this Royal Rumble to try to see what the trajectory looks like for Mania season. Because I got my pick in my head that, especially now that the events recently that took place, it made more sense to do it. But we'll see how this go.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a little bit of our Survivor Series talk. The Survivor Series this time around didn't have a lot of matches outside of the men and women's War Games match, the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship, the U.S. title changing hands. I think the one match that we didn't mention was Gunther versus Damian Priest. And of course, Finn Balor, once again, being Finn Balor.
Shout out Finn.
Generational hater. That boy said, I am, who is so Finn has taken the role of Jimmy, how Jimmy was to Jay. He was like, as long as I'm around, I am going to make sure that you do not win. And the same that how Jimmy had treated Jay that led up to Mania this past year. I'm like, okay, so Finn is this year's generational hater outside of Drew McIntyre, because we know Drew might get hater of the year after all is said and done.
Oh, undoubtedly, Drew is hater of the year. I don't care what nobody say. That's Drew's title. It is what it is. I need that to be like one of those year-end awards, bro. I need that to be a Slammy.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be a Slammy. Hater of the year. Make it a Slammy. Triple H, if you watch it, make it happen, bro. Make it happen. So we talked a little bit about Survivor Series here. There's a lot of things that's going on in WWE. Obviously, y'all know that they're getting ready to move to Netflix on January 6th, which is a crazy date, but that's where Monday falls. So it's kind of like, what can you do? So yep, the WWE is moving to Netflix. I can't wait to see, what that looks like, what the presentation looks like, and if there's going to be like any updated logos, like how they did SmackDown, and what theme song they're going to use, because they're not using Def Rebel anymore. So it'll be.
Are they like done?
Yeah, they didn't renew Def Rebel's contract, so. From what I've been told is that they're going to start using more songs from mainstream artists, but
licensed music.
Yeah. But I got to figure out like how that going to work for like wrestlers who are coming in to the main roster. Like, are you going to just hire that superstar and be like, hey, record this song for this wrestler, and have your own in-house studio where you get like more producers from outside to help with that? I don't know. Honestly don't, because we knew that for the longest time, Jim Johnson was making the music, then it was CFO $, and then it was Def Rebel. So I don't know how Triple H is going to pull that off, but
I think to answer that, I kind of got a feeling, kind of like how AEW does it, where like somebody on the indies or something might come in and they use a theme song and it might be licensed and they get the approval or whatever, they sign over the agreement to do so that going forward they can utilize it. It's probably going to be something like that. Or you might have a lot of your bigger name people, like you mentioned. Like we might have somebody on Raw and SmackDown, a big name, getting a West Side, we hurt people type beat.
Okay, all right, yeah. We'll see where that goes, man. We'll see where it goes. But it's a lot happening, and I can't wait to see and hear what that sounds like when the time does come around. What's been going on in the indies, man? Because I know that we still got to cover NXT Deadline, but what's been going on in the indies that you want to talk about?
So the big thing that happened in the indies that just took place, the night of NXT Deadline, there was also a pay-per-view, WRASSLIN. If you don't already support them, make sure you check them out. They based out of, I believe, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
For black wrestlers by black wrestlers, for black people by black people. It's a great look. They just crowned their inaugural men's champion just now, and first and foremost, that belt is beautiful, absolutely phenomenal.
I saw it. Yeah, it's great. It's a great looking belt.
It's a beautiful looking belt, and they gave it to the right person. Shout out to Mr. Darius Carter. Him winning, being the first. Okay, so good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nah, they did the right thing by that, and it's gonna be cool to see what it looked like going into this 2025 season, how they evolve, because I know they probably got like a women's one coming up soon, so that's the big one. I feel like I should also be bringing up as well NWA, the Territories, NWA Exodus. They had their show Unusual Suspects back in November. That went well. They got another show coming up in January, I believe the 18th, called Begin Again. That's going to be great. That's another group where a black tag team actually just got crowned as tag champions, which is always a good look. Shout out to TME. Like wrestling is in really good hands right now in the indie scene, especially with the whole WWE ID thing and everything going on. Like there's a lot of good things going on, and we're about to get into Mania season 2, so you're going to see a lot more moving and shaking.
Definitely can't wait. So for those who are not familiar with WWE ID, pretty much what they're doing is they are highlighting these wrestling schools that they have that they are having a partnership with. So they're pretty much building that relationship with these wrestling schools in order to, I guess, scout out who will be next. And so you're going to have plenty of wrestlers who are going to be, whether it be like Booker T's Reality of Wrestling or Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory or any of these wrestling schools. If they have an affinity, with WWE ID, you're going to see a lot more wrestlers, moving within the ranks. And hopefully we get to see some people actually move up into the WWE system. One of the, what was that wrestler that I talked about in our group chat? Cappuccino Jones.
Cappuccino Jones. Yes, Jones, sir.
One of the more interesting characters, but I watched some highlights and I was just like, yo, you know what? I like him. I really do like him because he's got the name, he's got the charisma. Just get him on the mic and get him in the ring, and I think that he will do well. He definitely fits that system. If he decides to go that route, he could decide to go to AEW. Who knows? But yeah, I'm liking what I saw so far. So definitely big shout out to WWE ID. I know Vince would never do anything like that, and it's really just kind of crazy to see that they're doing like independent development spotlights, and it's really, really like crazy. Like, yo, man, WWE used to be just in this own little world and closed off from everything, and Vince would not have that kind of thing. Like the indies were just not a thing to him. They didn't exist to him, but we see now these relationships breaking out within WWE. And then of course you still got the partnership with NXT and TNA. Granted, it's not as often right now because I guess we're getting to the Christmas holidays and getting into Mania season, so you're not going to see too much right now. But the fact that they even still have that partnership was unheard of. Like you never would have expected like TNA showing up on a WWE show or WWE showing up on a TNA show. Like, what is going on? What is in the water? So to see that happen, I am excited for what's to come for the future. I think wrestling right now is in good hands.
Amazing hands, bro. I like thoroughly. It is a great time to be a wrestling fan, and I need more people to realize that, get into it. Like this stretch of January into April into Mania season is about to be so integral for not only a lot of these indie wrestlers that are looking to make a name for themselves, but also the fans and stuff who want to be able to jump back into it. Like now is the time. If anything, you want to get into this, bro. Like, start looking at what's going on in your local area, like what's going on in the New Jersey wrestling scene, what's going on in the Virginia wrestling scene, what's going on over here in California, so on and so forth.
You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. I'm definitely been following I Say Wrestling, so I know that's one of the things that I wanted to start with. I'm like, man, 4 black wrestlers by black wrestlers. That's what I want. This what this podcast is about, y'all.
Yes,
4 black
sir.
by us. But we got to highlight everything. But that was one of the things that I was like, yo, I need to keep my eye on this, because especially if it's out of Charlotte, North Carolina, which is like literally, it's not my hometown. Y'all know I'm from Charleston, but it's near my home state. So I got to pay close attention to what they're doing out there. I can't wait to see what other things they got in store. I'm going to definitely check out the website. And I think they're going to start like showing some more episodic clips on top of that too. So yep, I'm looking forward to it, man. I want to see more. So I'm definitely going to also dive into some more NWA stuff. Admittedly, I know that I have been a critic of NWA at times, but that's just because, it is what it is. I'm not trying to be no WWE shill or anything like that. I like wrestling in all aspects. It's just, when a certain person was the NWA champion, I was kind of like, wow. We ain't gonna talk about it.
Listen, what I'll say as far as that goes, you as a wrestling fan should be able to have your own opinion about the wrestling you consume. That being said, Exodus Pro Wrestling, this a member of the NWA territory, we got some real good graps going over there. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Hey, you ain't saying nothing but a word, man. I'm trying to look for the actual oh, here you go. Exo Pro Wrestling. I was like, I thought I was following them and I realized I wasn't, but now I am. And granted, I don't like being on X a lot anymore because Twitter's cooked right now, and it has been for a long time, but it's even more so now.
Hey, you got Blue Sky?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm on Blue Sky.
Let me make sure I follow you after this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just shameless plug while we're talking about it, y'all. Chaotic Culture Podcast does have a Blue Sky as well. So please be sure that you follow us at chaoticculture.bsky.social. And of course, I'll plug in myself later at the end of the episode like I usually do. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody is aware that we do have a Blue Sky. It's not officially like on our beacons.ai yet, but I am going to add the link to that. So in the event that you want to follow us using the B Sky link, then the beacons. Goodness, I said B Sky. In case you want to follow us on Blue Sky using our website through beacons.ai, then you will be able to do so here very shortly. I just gotta, update some things on the website as well because, yes, made some changes and things like that. So yeah, we talked about the Indies, we talked about Survivor Series. Let's see. I guess the next thing would be Deadline. We got to talk about it. I know that a lot of people will, criticize NXT and things like that, but you gotta remember that these are wrestlers who are still in development, except for like the ones who have been wrestling in the Indies for super long time, or just in different promotions for a super long time, and are entering the WWE system. But you gotta remember that a lot of these people, especially like those who are on NIL deals, have never wrestled before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to keep that in mind when watching NXT and view it through a different lens. Excuse me, goodness gracious. But yeah, you have to view it through a different lens because you're not going to get the same professionalism and the same smoothness that you would if you were watching like a WWE or TNA. Or even AEW. You got to remember, like this is the development program. That being said, NXT from a storyline standpoint is always bonkers. It's always crazy. It feels like something is always going on. Somebody's always getting attacked in the parking lot. Someone's always getting attacked. Like there's always a brawl everywhere. It reminds me. And you could tell that Sean is running this show because it's like it always reminds me there's always madness going on in NXT. And, for some reason, I tune in every week because
it works.
The madness. It works. It absolutely works. It's like stay out of the NXT parking lot. To be honest, you need to stay out of the locker room, period. Like find yourself a solo locker room in NXT and stay away from the riffraff because
get a gun.
Yeah. Oh, that's
grab the strap.
Dang. He said, and Lexus King, he's like, yo, be like your dad. Grab the strap, bro.
Yo,
don't do that. But still, like, yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy environment, and it works for the show because it keeps me invested and it keeps me involved. So definitely shout out to that. I'm surprised because they didn't actually advertise this as NXT Deadline. They advertised it as WWE Deadline. So I wanted to know why they decided to make that change. I don't know if we know specifically, but do you have any suspicions of why they did that?
At first, I didn't even notice it at first. I kind of thought maybe it was like a matter of, I don't know if they might be lobbying to start blending a couple of these shows. I don't know if we're really finally going to let NXT be treated like a third brand instead of a developmental. I don't know. I know that WWE typically moves with intent for a lot of different things. I don't know if this is one of those. This might have just been it might have just been, something that just randomly happened. Or it might be something from a legality standpoint where they trying to do some copyright stuff that is over my head. I have no clue. I don't know, but it is what it is.
I was gonna say, and it might be a marketing thing as well. They're like, we want to promote this as, the very last PLE of the year. So instead of putting NXT on it, let's put WWE on it, so that way we can get more eyes to watch it, and it also helps us by getting more eyes on the NXT brand. So it might be a marketing ploy, which. There's nothing wrong with that. I just thought that it was a little weird. I'm like, oh, they're not doing NXT Deadline. This is WWE Deadline. That's different.
Is this the first PLE since they moved to CW?
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. When did they do Halloween Havoc?
Halloween Havoc. Well, technically, didn't Halloween Havoc happen before they moved to CW?
I'm trying to figure that
out.
No,
it's not. No, it's not. Because Halloween Havoc, Stephanie Vicaire and Julia tagged together and faced.
Yeah.
That was definitely after they moved.
So yeah, Halloween Havoc was the first PLE with NXT moving to CW. Goodness gracious, I'm stuttering. But yeah, that was the first one.
I had to check and see if Halloween Havoc was touted as an NXT or if it was WWE, because then that might be the root cause. But
let's see. I'm looking at it, and on the poster it just says WWE Halloween Havoc. I don't see the NXT on there. Okay. So that's definitely interesting, because usually it'll say like NXT and then it'll have the name of the PLE. So that's I'm glad I looked at the poster, because I'm like, okay, I see that that NXT is nowhere on it. Well, alrighty then. They said that this is, and I'm reading, and I know I'm reading the wiki page, but it says this was the second NXT Halloween Havoc to be held as a live streaming event after 2022, as the 2020, 2021, and 2023 events were held as television specials on NXT, and also returned to the event to one night, as the 2023 edition was a 2-night event, as well as the first NXT event to carry the WWE logo. So, how about that?
This is how I know you an actual journalist, kid.
Hey, sometimes you gotta look things up, man. That's what I do. Like, before I comment on anything, before I talk about whatever event is going on, or whether something be on the news and whatnot, I'm a dig deep, and I'm a find out, what's going on with that. So yeah, I appreciate that. So interesting enough, before we actually discuss like the deep of what went down on Deadline, I did want to ask, so would you consider, does NXT have like a big four? I think they've got Deadline and Stand and Deliver. Those are probably going to be like their two, but do you think that they have like two more that would be on the same level?
Deadline, if you're gonna pick Deadline, Stand and Deliver is one. Not really Great American Bash.
No, because sometimes that could be a one-night event, and then sometimes they split it up. So, and it's not Roadblock, because Roadblock is usually a TV special. Spring Break is usually a TV special. So would Heat Wave technically be in that?
Heat Wave, maybe. I mean, you know what? Let me actually search up the NXT Premium Live events. Let's forget it. We'll do it live. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see, because we got if we're starting. because you
showing me
got
NXT takeovers. No.
all the ones that they've had were you got New Year's Evil.
New Year's Evil was one.
Well, we said Deadline. We said Stand and Deliver. You got Vengeance Day. Yeah. Then you have, let's see, after Stand and Deliver, you got Battleground.
You know, I would have said New Year's Evil, but that's at the Capitol Wrestling Center.
Okay, so yeah, if it's at the CWC, then I don't know. So maybe Heat Wave, Stand and Deliver, Deadline. Maybe No Mercy.
No Mercy.
Okay.
No Mercy.
No Mercy might be their other big one, because I was gonna say Halloween Havoc, but they just started to make Halloween Havoc a one night thing.
Nah, Heat Wave definitely is one of them ones.
Okay.
It's Heat Wave, because Heat Wave was at the Scotiabank.
Yeah.
Right before SummerSlam. So it's Heat Wave. It's definitely Stand and Deliver. It's I guess we could say Deadline, maybe. Yeah, Deadline definitely, because it has that stipulation match behind it.
Stipulation match.
And the other one is probably,
I would say it would be between No Mercy and Halloween Havoc. That's the only other things that make sense to me. If we're doing it before.
Either I'd have said No Mercy and maybe like Vengeance Day, but probably No Mercy realistically.
Yeah. I'd probably would take No Mercy. So okay. Well, that's what we got so far. And things could change in a year, you never know. But I know for certain that Deadline having that stipulation is probably a big one for them, and we all know Stand and Deliver because that's WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. So,
which, by the way, that stipulation is one of the better ones in wrestling right now, and I don't think nobody talk about that.
It really is. I kind of want the match to be a little longer, but the 25 minutes actually makes things frantic at the very end, because if you've watched Deadline, we're gonna get into it. You know, there were opportunities for people who tried to, get that last minute pin and they just couldn't because they ran out of time. I'm like, making it 25 minutes may actually be genius in the end, because I would have preferred to be 30, but
chef's kiss.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. So let's talk about Deadline, and actually started out with the men's Iron Survivor match. And I think all of us kind of knew who that fifth person was going to be, because the moment that Eddie Thorpe was injured and whatnot, I said, watch it be over, Femi. Watch it be over. I know
what's crazy?
Yeah.
I didn't. I was very scared. I didn't even think about Obafemi. I'm not even gonna lie to you, and that's on me. But like on my spirit, I thought we was gonna run into a situation where that fifth man was gonna be Axiom, and that was gonna lead to that tag team dissolving at some point. I was like, this ain't the match for it. But if you but I think they did this was the perfect person. The perfect scenario, the perfect person won. I think they did everything right.
Yeah, they really did, and I personally, I kind of knew what it was, only because it was, I guess, call it a gut feeling, because I've been a big Obafemi fan since he first stepped into that ring, and it's like, yo, he learned super quick. The man's only been wrestling for 2-3 years, and he's just like, yo, he's still learning and he's still catching on really quick. And no wonder they're high on him, man. He gets it. He gets playing the monster role, and he gets just being who he is, and actually, he has a great character on top of that. So I gotta give it to him. And I know JB was happy as hell when he saw that name pop up.
Bro, in the chat, he was like, "Oh, that's Cuzzo, bro. Everything out the window." He did his predictions, and I think he had Javon Evans winning, which I probably would have had winning if he wasn't in the match. But as soon as Oba came in, bro, in the group chat, he's immediately like, "Well, game over."
Honestly, if Oba was not in that match, I would have picked Javon Evans as well. That's why I held off on making an actual prediction. I'm like, it depends on who this fifth guy is. If the fifth guy is like Axiom, or if it's like some random other person, then I'm picking Javon. But if it's Oba, it's Oba. I'm already hip. So
Oba is over.
Shout out to Obafemi. The most interesting spot was him getting 2 pins at the very last second, and then Javon hitting that cutter but ran out of time. I was like, yeah, cinema. Absolute cinema. This man won off of freaking Europe. Got his first pin off a European uppercut that shit looked real as hell. I was like, oh, I flinched. I was like, oh shit.
Does he normally do that?
No, he
need to.
Yeah, I was like, yo, his finisher is the fall from grace, which is the either the falling powerbomb or set up powerbomb, depending on how he wants to do it. But yeah, I was like, damn, that uppercut was nasty as hell, and he got the pinfall off of it. I'm like, okay, and then of course he got the 2 pinfalls off choke slams. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Javon Evans is still incredible to watch. That man is only like 20, about to be 21 years old, and that man can fly. Big shout out to him. I will admit, at first I was a fan of Wesley turning heel, but now I'm not so sure.
Why not?
I don't know what it is. I just don't really take him. I think it's his moveset. I think he's still comfortable doing like a babyface moveset to where it's like, I can't take you really all that seriously as a heel, because the way that you move in the ring it's not giving heel persona. Like it's still like I have a bad attitude, but I'm still gonna fly around the ring and do what it do. So eventually maybe I'll warm up to it, but they've got to give me I guess Wes has to give me a lot of chances though. But shout out to Wesley, man. That's still one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster. And I'm not just saying that because I took a photo with him at DreamCon in 2023. Yo, dude is legit.
Here he go. Here. Oh, brother.
I'm gonna keep rubbing that in people's faces, bro. But
brother, that dude, this guy stinks.
Here you go. Hey, but one thing, him cutting locks, that really hurt me though. I know it's probably part of his character, but I'm just like, damn, bro, why you cut the locks, man? That shit was man.
I'm okay with him cutting the locks because his lineup's still crispy. Like
it is.
Keep it funky, bro. Wesley is one of those people where it's like, once you cut that, you don't know where it's gonna go. Like, is he the type of person that's gonna have a dusty lineup or not? And he proved that all the allegations wrong, bro. Shout out that man. Whoever, shout out that man, Barber, shout out everything, bro. Salute that man and all that. He beat those allegations, and I like his heel run because of the fact the way he talking, the way he moving, like he has the heel movements and everything, and it makes sense. I think what might be missing, to your point, in his actual his wrestling, like in the ring, he need more like strikes, like he need more spots where he's like, all right, well, let me hit you with a dragon screw or something like that as you're trying to get in the ring and like mess that leg up. Little things like that, like start attacking certain pieces instead of like doing a lot of flip related things, because he can go. Like nobody's complaining or saying anything about that. I think once he starts like attacking the certain pieces, like bro, limb movement, things like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting. Like, because when you have, if you're gonna be a heel in WWE, a lot of heels like to target certain areas of the body, like
targeting. That was a word.
An injury. So if you got an injured knee, oh, I'm gonna go after the knee. You got an elbow, I'm gonna go after the elbow. Or you could injure it in the match. It's like, oh, okay, that's your weak point. I'm a target it right here. So I think if he can kind of adopt that, then I will definitely take his heel run a lot more serious. So I do want to see that more from Wesley. Like I really want to see more of this heel run, and I eventually do want to see him become NXT champion too. But it looks like right now it's probably gonna be Oba. So
yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah. So who else is in the match? Shout out to Nathan Frazier. Busted open and everything. Yeah, he can go, but he damn sure got busted up like not even 10 minutes into the match. I'm like, damn, dude already bleeding from the nose and shit.
That boy was leaking, bro. Yeah, and it made for everything to make more sense.
And of course, y'all know all ego Ethan Page. He did what he had to do in the match as well. I especially love the fact that when he had to go into the penalty box over there, and Oba was right there waiting on him. I'm like, yes, I love that part, because Ethan was like, no, don't send me in there. Like, bro, you got pinned, you got to go. And he went in, and Oba was just like, all right, I gotta give you that payback. And he pretty much took him out of the match by slamming him into all the walls and whatnot. So I shout out to Ethan Page for playing that role well. I don't know where Ethan Page goes from here. He even said he didn't know where he was going from here. I thought that he would eventually get caught up to the main roster after this match. So we'll see what happens when January rolls around.
That might be it.
Yeah.
Yes, my thing is, I don't want to spend too much time on that for my point, but like Ethan Page is somebody who like I wasn't too familiar with him before he came to NXT. Like I know he had his AEW run, but like watching him, I'm like, yo, I didn't know I was gonna like you as much as I do. And now that I see you, I'm like, yo, you could, bro, your character, everything about you, I love. You are the model heel when it comes to like what you want in a wrestling promotion.
Yeah,
Ethan Page.
Definitely the model heel. And I will admit that I didn't watch him a lot in AEW. I actually remember him more from Impact. So yeah. So that was me. I was like, when of course I knew he was with AEW, but I just didn't watch a lot of it. And that's not to say that I don't like AEW, y'all. It's just sometimes AEW hits and then sometimes it misses, at least on the television part. Now, they don't do PLEs. The pay-per-views go for AEW. Like I'll sit there and I'll watch as long as it's not too long, I'll watch an AEW pay-per-view, no problem. But as far as watching Dynamite, Collision, and all the other shows, like you gotta catch me on a good day for me to watch. That being said, Ethan did put in a lot of work, and I do like his character work as a heel. And I really want to see what he does on the main roster if he's going to the main roster. I think I covered everybody in the men's Iron Survivor match. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Lola Vice versus Jada Parker in that NXT Underground match?
I was worried about it at first, considering like for that type of match, putting Jada Parker in there, it's like, like, is that the right match for her? Does that make sense? Not to say that she can't go either. I just like, bro, you put anybody in there with Lola Vice, you kind of got to assume Lola Vice going to put the mitts on him. But I think they did a good job about how they protected Jada to not look like, all right, you look out of place, especially with the addition of the brick. The way they did that, the way that they started targeting limbs again, like as a heel, limb targeting, like makes perfect sense. I think they did that well. Lola, I think, did a really good job playing that whole face role, and ultimately, that move at the end, that chokehold that she did to get the victory. When I tell you, peak. My only complaint about Lola Vice in particular is not really like a fault thing. It's just I wish she would keep that spinning heel kick that she had as a finisher.
Yes.
Don't nobody do that. Yeah, the Buenos Noches, I think now is the arm one, right?
Well, yeah, she does the spinning back fist, but they haven't given it a name yet. But her spinning kick was called Buenos Noches.
Buenos Noches. The spinning back fist, by the way, is gas. Like I love it. I think it's a great move, and I'm riding with it. I just kind of wished also the spinning heel kick, bro. Like it made me miss Aleister Black in WWE so bad.
Oh man, bro, that Black Mass is still one of the best finishers, best quick finishers out there, man. Because the way he performs it is just so, okay.
I'm gonna go on record. It's one of my top 5 finishes of all time.
You know what, bro? If that's not a hot take for me, that's a freezing cold take. I think it's definitely top 5. I agree with you there. It's especially like if you perform it well and as well as he does, it could be like, because realistically, if you're in a UFC match and you get spinning back kicked in the face, who's getting up from that? Nobody. That's who.
Not a one.
Yep. So yeah, definitely shout out to the match. I think my biggest complaint about the match was when it comes to NXT Underground matches and they dim the lights, they dim it a little too low. Yeah. And I think that's the only thing. Now, from a TV perspective, I can see fine, but I don't know how the audience will react to it. And so that being said, Jada Parker being in that match, like you, there was a little bit of, is this going to work for her? But she was able to make it work. Even in taking an L, she still looked really strong. So I'm like, I respect it. I respect that they had the match that they did, and I respect that Lola got the win and got the dub. We'll see where it goes from here. Jada, while still very new to wrestling, she has come into her own. She's definitely got the mic work and the character work down, and she's slowly but surely getting the ring work down as well. I'm loving the development of her, and I can't wait to see what else she has, going on in the future. Because if I'm Triple H, I'm looking like, her character work is like top notch right now. So,
bro, I promise you, and I'm glad that like Jada's getting looks. I'm glad both of them are. Lola Vice too are getting looks like these. So like, let's be real, bro. Like putting the Gooner stuff on the table, bro. Like obviously you see the butt and everything, and you like, all right, here we go, I'm riding. But like, when you see like the way that they go in the ring, you see like honestly the promo work is better too. Like the way that Jada is such a good promo, even if she let off the Booker T moment where she's dropped the N-word the other day, like beautiful, chef's kiss, perfect. Would trust them with an open mic at any point.
Gotcha. I thought she dropped the S word. I thought she said shit, but maybe I was paying attention.
She did drop the S word, but she dropped the N word before that, and there's a video going out right now on Twitter where like they got the clip of her saying the N word to the ref before she gets in the ring, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Okay. Well, damn, I gotta find that clip.
If I find it, I'm gonna send it to you.
All right, bet. Dang, bro, not Jada Parker having a "we coming for you, nigga."
She definitely got a "we coming for you, nigga." She got one of those.
Where shout out to that match. The tag team match: Nathan Frazier and Axiom defeating No Quarter Catch Crew. The tag team division, man. At first, it was faltering a little bit, but NXT was able to like catch it and be like, nope, we putting y'all back up. So
the headphones is on fire this time around, Styles.
Yeah.
My blood pressure is building. And I want to say just real quick before I let you go on this, like my Peacock app was on some BS at this moment, so I didn't really get to fully watch this match like straightforward without blur, without it cutting out. And I think I realized now I had to restart my PS5 because after that it got better. But when I went back and started watching a lot of the clips and the way that match went, bro, cinema.
Yes,
cinema.
Great match, man. And the match only went like 15 and a half minutes, but it was still great, man. Big shout out. I'm a fan of Tavion Heights.
Amen. I'm
a fan, yo. Dude is like that, man. I can't wait to see what he got, man. I'm a big fan. Shout out to Miles Bourne. He did his thing too. And of course, Nathan Frazier and Axiom. You already know that they can go in the ring. Like it's really
my only gripe about Nathan Frazier and Axiom. The one thing I hate about them so much is when they first come out to the ring, you get Nathan Frazier's theme song, right? And it's gas, it's fire, and then like Axiom come out, and then they switch it to that Marvel that shit. And it's like, nah, bro, let Frazier shit cook. That's my only gripe. But other than that, bro, phenomenal tag team.
I'm with you as well. I'm like, okay, at this point, they've been a tag team long enough, yo. Don't give them the mashup of two of their songs, bro. Just give them one song and let it be Nathan Frazier's, or pick a whole new song for their tag team. Like it's that's
I'm over it.
Yeah, I am too. I definitely am. But other than that, yeah, them as a tag team, phenomenal, man, and they always have phenomenal matches. It's really great to see a lot of near falls in this one, even after one of them got hit with the tag team, which looked like it was a combination of a TKO and something else that Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights did. I got to look at it again, but it was like a TKO / DDT. It was kind of crazy, but still a lot of near falls, a lot of high action, man. And yeah, shout out to Axiom, bro. Like he's one of the ones. Nathan Frazier one of them ones too, but definitely both of them.
When do you pull the trigger and take them titles off of them?
Bro, that's a good question. That is a very good question.
Because I would have did it here, but I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do it here, considering Nathan Frazier just got out of a brutal Iron Survivor match. I thought, oh, this is the time to take it off him, but they kept it on. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then you got to figure out which team is going to do it. OTM right now is, to me, I know they were teasing throughout the match, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Out of all of OTM, Jada is the one that has the momentum right now. The tag team itself, they don't have. I don't think they have enough wins under their belt for me to be like, oh, okay, I think that they're gonna be next up. But we'll see in the coming months because things can change in a couple weeks. You never know.
I think they got the Street Profits problem of the stop and start, which is what's hindering them from really like going on an actual run. Like you said, they gotta get some wins.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And of course, you got Hank and Tank. You always got Dallas in the corner. Hank and Tank has been the most entertaining, y'all. Like
the whole time.
They just whatever comes out of their mouth, I'm like, yo, they are saying some crazy stuff right now, but you know what? It works.
Yep.
So I want to see more from them. We'll see, I guess. No Quarter Cash Crew. Obviously, they just lost their match, and then what other tag teams are like really hot right now? You got I forgot their names, but I'm gonna call them like the two T's because I know one's name is Tyreek and I forgot the other one's name. But I think that for whatever reason, they're getting the short end of the stick. I want to see them get some more wins under their belt too. Like, yo, I want to see what they can do as a tag team. So
wait, which team is this?
It's the two black gentlemen. One, I think one's name is Tyreek. Dang, what is their? I used to like. I can't think of it, but it's two black dudes.
Oh! I just searched it. I know who you're talking about. Tyreek and Tyson.
Yeah, Tyreek and Tyson.
Yeah, why am I not too familiar with their game?
I don't know, man, because they were doing that thing on Level Up, and then they get to the main TV for NXT, and then they haven't been winning. So it's like, okay.
Oh, and also you got the OC too.
Oh yeah, they're still around.
Yeah, it's a weird tag division right now.
Yeah, very, very much so. But it's, you know me, I'm still enjoying where the division is right now because once Nathan Frazier and Axiom had won the tag titles, I thought it was gonna like take a huge nosedive, but
put it on their back.
Yeah, they put it on their back, and they've been able to keep it up, man. So I gotta give them their credit. Gotta give them their props. And probably the weakest match of the night, and that's not saying that I, don't fuck with them, but this probably was the weakest. Trick Williams versus Rich Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match per se. And I do think Trick just needs to stay in NXT just a tiny bit longer. But that being said, he still performed well. Ridge, did what he had to do, show off, that he's this monster heel and whatnot. He doesn't care about hurting people anymore. That's kind of what he does. I have not been as high on Ridge Holland, but I've warmed up to him a little bit since this NXT run. I'll give him his credit. He's definitely improved in the ring because at one point I thought that Vince called him up way too early. And unfortunately, by doing that, Big E ended up getting hurt. And that's not, I'm not faulting Ridge for that. Obviously, accidents always happen in wrestling. Injuries always happen. I just think that had Vince had the foresight to just keep him down there a little longer, that could have been avoided. But that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. I do like Rich Holland's development now. I think that he can still be a good heel. I just think he's still a little on the vanilla side. Like I want to see like more character from him, if that makes any sense. But I do like the story that they told, at least with the match of, with Trick having neck issues and whatnot. It's just crazy that Trick kicks out of a Redeemer, but Ridge does not kick out of the Trick shot. So
yeah, I mean, it's like so to that point, right? Like if you want to do that and you want to make the trick shot look like trick shot is a good looking move, by the way. If you want to do that and you want to make the trick shot look like, all right, well, out of nowhere, boom, now you down on some RKO type beat. That's cool. I think then going forward, you're gonna have to carry that through different matches. You can't have like a bunch of people just kicking out of the trick shot. Also, I think if there was somebody to kick out of the trick shot, it would be Ridge Holland, considering how big he is.
Yep.
But I think to the point of Ridge, like I Like if Biggie is not blaming him for this, if he's able to move and do that, then bro, we gotta accept it as well. We gotta accept him and keep it pushing. It is what it is. I think that the point about Ridge, where I think like you said, he needs more work per se. I think from a character standpoint, he just need more. I don't want to call it Kevin Owen moments because that's kind of disrespectful to him, but like he need more moments where he just do something randomly, like, bro, why did you do that? Like Kevin Owens just randomly powerbombing Machine Gun Kelly, like that's a look. Like Ridge needs something like that to happen.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I was not faulting Ridge for the the whole Big E situation. I'm faulting
right.
Them. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the source. Like again, injuries happen all the time, and I don't fault Ridge for that, that happening and no one should. But Vince, you definitely caught him up too early. Like he was not ready for that moment, and it showed. But that's just my opinion.
I'm letting you know now, though. I know you mentioned that Trick not ready for the main roster just yet. He need a little more time. He gonna be in that Royal Rumble.
Oh, I know he is. I would be surprised if he wasn't. Like if he's not in the Royal Rumble, yo, like what are we doing, y'all? Like him just being on a random SmackDown randomly out of nowhere.
It was a good look, right?
Yeah, and people were chanting through his song, like, yeah, he's as far as his character, as far as his charisma, he is main event ready. But I would like to see him get more reps within NXT before he gets there. But that's just me. I also think that the trick shot can be a good move. I just think it needs a better setup because sometimes he just kind of does it out of nowhere. I would like to see kind of like not like a Claymore setup or like how Bryan Danielson used to do, like the running knee and whatnot, but something to that effect. Like I want a setup where it's about to come, or at least the audience knows it's about to come.
I think he need to lean into, like you said, the whole like the whoop that trick where he got his hand up, he doing the boom, boom, boom. Yep. Like let him do that in the corner real quick, or beat on his chest, pause, and do what he got to do, and then like run in and do it like you said, just like a Claymore shot. Start from the corner, give him a chance, let him build up, and then boom.
Yep. For sure. But all that being said, Trick retained the title. He's still the champ, so we already know we getting Trick Williams versus Obafemi is probably coming real soon.
It is New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that, man. I cannot wait to see
Trick about to see God.
Yeah, shit. Them two black gentlemen going at it, but I'm like, I think they putting the title on Oba, and they about to rocket strap him to the moon if they haven't done so already. Yeah, they about to. It's like, yep, you know what? We about to push you, my guy. Like you about to go all the way. So,
hey, when we get Javon versus Oba in April, bro.
That's going to cook. That is going to cook. That is going to cook. All right. And finally, for the Iron Survivor match for the women, I'm gonna be honest. I was genuinely surprised because I did think that they were gonna go with Stephanie, but they're going to push Julia, which I'm not mad at any point either. I think that Julia versus Roxanne again, it deserves a second round, and we'll see what happens if they actually put the title on Julia this time, because I mean, Julia's like that, y'all. Like if y'all haven't watched any of her Stardom matches, like I highly, highly encourage that you do so, because
beating the brakes off a Starlight Kid.
Oh my God, yo, some of them matches, I'm just like, listen, when we said that they wrestle stiff in Japan, we are not kidding, because some of them joints look like, how do y'all even get out of the ring after all of that?
Real quick, Kay, I meant to tell you, the recent pay-per-view that just happened a while ago was Stardom versus NJPW, like a little cross promotion thing. I don't know if you saw this match, but there's a match with two wrestlers. One is Mayu Iwatani and the other one is Momo Watanabe. Where it was for the title. When I tell you some of the stiffest shots I've ever seen in bro, shorties was getting kicked in the head, the neck, bro. When I tell you that was one of the wildest matches I watched, and that still didn't get 5 stars from Meltzer, bro. Like, if I could find it, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna let you, bro. When I tell you that match is peak, if you just randomly got the chance to watch it, please watch this match.
Definitely send me that match.
Yeah.
I'm definitely down to watch because I
No, it was honest to God, it was one of the best matches of this year, and I wish more people would talk about it.
Man, I'm down for it. And y'all, I don't know how y'all know how I feel about Dave Meltzer, but this is like, man, if that match still didn't get 5 stars from Dave, that's I don't know. But Dave's opinion sometimes I'll just be like, all
Shaky
right, bro.
Warrior.
Yeah, whatever, bro. There are matches I'm just like, yo, that deserves 5 stars, and then he doesn't give it. I'm like, all right, whatever, bro. You got it. It's your opinion, I guess. Like what was the one match in WWE that he gave 5 stars this year?
Was it the Punk and Drew match at Hell in a Cell?
I think it was Punk and Drew McIntyre and Hell in a Cell. He gave that 5 stars, which honestly would deserved it. I'm like, you know what? All right, I'll give you that one, Dave.
This match was just as good as it.
Yeah, and so with matches like that are just as good or better, and he doesn't give it to him, then I'm like, okay, I know you've been in the wrestling business for a long time, bro, but seriously? Okay, whatever.
I don't know, bro. But we still have to say, like, this Iron Survivor match, I know you said Julia, you had picking, first and foremost, Stephanie Vaquer Hive, a symbol.
That's who I had originally winning. I did have Stephanie winning at first. I thought they were gonna give her the shot at Roxanne, but they gave it back to Julia. So, but again, I'm not mad at it. I would have been okay with it either or, because I was like, if it's not Stephanie, it's Julia. If it's not Julia, it's Zarya. I don't see Rain getting it, and I unfortunately don't see Soul getting it. But they still performed. Yo, shout out to Soul Ruka. She really has taken to the ring very, very well. Like,
Oh my, no, keep going. I'm gonna get my shit off in a second.
Oh, I got you. And shout out to black women, because for those who don't know, Soul Ruka is black. She got a black daddy.
That's a fact.
Yep. And Ren Sinclair, it was the I guess comedic relief. Now Ren can really go in the ring.
Ren could go.
Yeah. But it's just the fact that anytime that she got some kind of momentum, they sent her back to the penalty box. I'm like, okay, this is kind of funny, y'all. Like, she gets out of the penalty box, gets back in the ring, and then immediately gets hit by a Soul Snatcher, and then immediately has to go back. I'm like, damn, bro, that is absolutely crazy. And then they got, I guess, Soul Ruka unfortunately got her comeuppance from that too, because at the very end of the match, she got sent to the penalty box, which took her out of the match. It's like, damn, that's a smooth way to take somebody out. Like, oh, you got to go in the penalty box, and you're not getting out for the remainder of the match.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, crazy. Zarya once again showing that she is a powerhouse. Big shout out to Delta, man. She been doing this thing for real, and it's crazy that they still haven't called her move. We all know it's a F5/F6.
Yeah, bro, it's an F5. Bro, come on. Let's
but they still won't name it. I'm like, damn, y'all, it's the ghost of Brock Lesnar really haunting us that much that we can't call the move what it is. But okay, y'all, it is what it is. And once again, shout out to Stephanie Vaquer. Yo, she is yes, Lord, yes.
A symbol.
She is worth it, y'all. Like, just as a wrestler in general, like she is really good.
Look at me. Look at me in my face.
Yes, sir.
Stephanie Vaquer created wrestling. Fuck is you talking about?
Hey man, say man. That's
hey man, say man. But
I got much else to say other than yes, Lord. Yes, I'm in the words of my GOAT Anderson .Paak. Yes, Lord.
Dog, like in this match, the intricacies that people don't talk about. First and foremost, Ren Sinclair. Let's start with her.
Mm-hmm.
Made the most of the situation with her being, I guess, the comedic relief spot, if you want to say. But she did really well in there, and she had to start it off with Julia.
Yep.
Like, it was slow because they was just doing a lot of like moves and stuff, but she kept up the pace. Didn't make it like boring until Soul came out after. Nobody really ever talks about that cattle mutilation, that with the move that she does where she double hooks the arms and then like she's like, it's cattle mutilation, one of the best wrestling submissions ever. She's doing it, and then she's like rolling her body around in the process as well. Like, dog, the amount of core strength you got to have for that, the amount of flexibility you got to have for that, like, absolutely peak. Like Ren been out here doing what she got to do on the indies. So like seeing this right now, deserved. Soul Ruka came in, and when she did the double the Soul Snatcher and then didn't get the pin on either of them, for Ren to come in, hit the Soul Snatcher on her, and then got that pin right there, bro, chef's kiss. Yes. Phenomenal. And then the thing I forget what it's called. It's called the Sasuke something, where ultimately when she did the flip, where she backflipped and then jumped out the ring and then caught them on that spot, bro. Yes.
Yeah, that was a highlight too. I'm just like, oh, she did a backflip and then she went over the top. I'm like, oh yeah, yes. Listen, I don't care what y'all say, man. Gymnasts. I think gymnasts make the perfect wrestlers. If you were
absolutely,
if you've been doing this and you know how to tumble, and you decide to get in the wrestling ring, you go. I think that you're going to succeed. Like Tiffany is doing it, Soul Ruka is doing it,
Kalani,
Kalani is doing it. Like I don't care what y'all say. Like if you've been doing gymnastics and you can tumble, then you can really, really make wrestling your thing. You know,
cheerleaders too.
Yeah, cheerleaders too, man. For real, cheerleaders too. Julia.
Julia. We're here. Julia. I would have picked Zarya to win this match, but I get why Julia got that victory, and I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I didn't expect her to get the last pinfall with what Vic Joseph calls the Ariba Daichi knee, which we all call G trigger. Obviously we know why they can't say G trigger. But still, I was surprised at that when I saw the knee. I was like, "Ooh, G trigger!" Wait,
out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, she got the pit." Oh shit! And then Stephanie was trying to get it in those last seconds and couldn't. And I'm like, you know what? That's when I really said that 25 time limit really plays a factor into this match.
Chef's kiss, bro.
Yeah, if you can't get. You could be on your way to getting the pin and then you run out of time.
Hey, like, Javon Evans too. Same situation with him when he hit that cutter at the end and he couldn't get that last pin.
Absolutely, man. It plays a role. You gotta be strategic with it. So big shout out.
I love that Ariba Daichi knee more than I do that Northern Light slam that she do. Because I noticed she used that as a finisher for her first match, and it was like it's cool. Like, I mean, I'm fucking with it. Like, but the Reba Daichi knee, bro, when I tell you I don't know, bro, impactful. So
I'm trying to figure out what was her finisher when she was in Stardom. Wasn't it like a Northern Lights driver?
I think it was.
Because if that was the case, that's why she uses the Northern Lights bomb. Because it's a safer way to do it. I guess, and she still did it in the match because that's how she got her first pinfall. But obviously, you can't do pile drivers in WWE unless it's like a Canadian destroyer, and there's a way to protect people from landing on their head, obviously.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Well, you know how that go, man. You know how that go. Overall, I would say that Iron Survivor was an 8 out of 10 for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom. I enjoyed both the Iron Survivors matches. I enjoyed the NXT Underground match for what it was. The tag team match was absolutely gas. And of course, the NXT Championship match was good. It was a decent match. Probably better fit for TV, but still a good match nonetheless. And you had the crowd still invested in it. And with it, I think when you get the crowd into it, regardless, it's going to be a good match. Regardless of what, technical aspects might have been missing throughout the match, as long as you have that charisma and as long as you make the most of it, then that's all that matters in the end.
I'm with you.
All right, man. We've been going for about an hour 18. I didn't expect the episode to go too long, y'all, because we got to get this thing out in quick, fast, in a hurry. If I'm going to make that Tuesday deadline, if I don't post it on Tuesday, it's going to get posted on Wednesday anyway. But that being said, do you have any closing thoughts on wrestling this week? Oh, we got one. I already know. The New Day.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Oh boy. Yeah. Before we get up out of here, we got to talk about that New Day segment.
Yo.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna let you know now, bro. I've seen my parents divorce before. I've seen what that looked like, a family getting broken up.
Mm-hmm.
Having to go through this again, man. Come on, dog. Don't do this to me.
Yeah, the pain.
My spirit, bro. Like and I think my everything about it was perfect. I think they played it well.
Mm-hmm.
The anticipation up to the point, all the photos and stuff. Dropping that that article that he did before on the Players Tribune before it I think it was a Players Tribune before the night happened, where he went through his like everything, and I read that article and it was beautiful.
Yeah,
and just hearing and seeing about his mental health made this promo much more impactful for me personally, because it's like knowing that ego through that type of stuff where it's like, all right, your mind is playing tricks on you. You don't really know what's going on. You got to fight those battles. You taking medication for it. To seeing people that, bro, you've been in the mud with for 10 years now, having to do what you had to do, champions, arguably the best tag team in the world ever, and for them to turn their back on you the way that they did, and now you got to sit and live with that, like, bro, your mentals right now, I'm sitting here like, bro, you good? Like, bro, somebody give me Big E number so I can text him. Is he okay? Like, bro, here's BetterHelp.
Not introduce a BetterHelp, man.
Damn.
Hey, all I got to say is that was a twist that I did not see coming. There were certain things that I thought was going to happen. I either thought that it was going to come to an end and Xavier Woods was going to like be the one to officially turn heel, and we was going to get Woods versus Kofi.
Yep.
I saw Big E coming out as a scenario, and I'm thinking that, okay, he's going to join in and become the manager, and they're going to be like, you know what, thank you, we all needed that, and they're all going to ride off into the sunset together and continue, doing what they were doing. The third scenario had it where they would argue about Big E not being there, but at the end of the day, you'd be like, you know what? Come on, man. We got to try this one more time. And all three of them would still like, go right off into the sunset and almost like a psych now moment. Like, yeah, we mad, but you know what? Nah, you family, bro. Let's do this. Yeah.
Running back, Turbo.
What I did not expect was for both Xavier Woods and Kofi to turn heel, and the way that they did it just broke my heart. I'm like, dog,
broke my spirit, gang.
I was like, I saw it for Woods, but when Kofi did it, I was like, oh shit, like what's happening? What's happening? When they eventually just, Kofi put his hand out, and Big E left the ring, and then those two looked at each other like it's just us now. I was like, oh shit, they're staying together, and they just kicked Big E out, and they're both going heel, and I'm like, say psych now, please say psych now, please say psych. Be like, we got you, Big E, come on. And I was hoping for that. When that didn't happen, I'm like, oh shit, This just got real.
Hey, bro, first the fat boys break up, then every day I wake up, somebody got a problem with. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way that it happened, I will admit that that was absolute cinema. I do not take that lightly. That segment really just had me broken, but I'm like, damn, this shit is good. Like, damn, I did not see that happening. Damn it, Triple H, you freaking madman, bro. Like, wow. Okay.
Like, Hunter, bro, what you doing, gang? Well, what are we doing here, bro?
That man comes up with different ways on how to turn the team heel. He's like, if I'm going to turn this person heel, let's come up with a creative way to do this. Let's make it make sense, but also let's just do it in a way that nobody expects. Like with the whole thing with Kevin Owens turning heel in the parking lot with no cameras rolling. You get
that was perfect.
You get the New Day turning heel on Big E. That was crazy. And then, of course, you got DIY, the way that happened, which I kind of foresaw something like that happening, but I thought that it wouldn't be in the match. I thought it would be more along the lines of, oh, this is going to happen after the Street Profits. And then when I see the Street Profits got jumped and of course Johnny Gargano just pops up out of nowhere and that's for the match, I'm like, I wonder, but I didn't think it would be Johnny. I'm like, I wonder if Tommaso attacked him, and Johnny was just like, okay, well, he attacked him, but we still got to get this match off. But just the way that it happened, he's like, the moment that I saw Tommaso get the chair, I'm thinking, what if Johnny just turns heel right now? That thought immediately popped in my head, like, what if Johnny just turns heel? And as soon as I thought that, low blow, I'm like, shit. The whole thing was a ruse. And then he comes up and smiles. I'm like, yep, that whole thing, bro. Like Triple H knows how to, turn people heel. If he don't know how to do nothing else, he knows how to get a heel turn and knows how to get you to react. That shit had me like, damn, yo, okay, we here now.
My problem with this though, like not really a problem per se, because I think they did everything right in that sense. Because realistically, like Motor City Machine Guns, you're not gonna have them hold the title for long because like that they're brought there to bring up and get over other tag teams. So great, perfect. I think why do you do this and turn them heel and then kind of tease the potential for heel Street Profits at the same time?
Yeah,
and they all in the same program is the only thing I was like concerned about. But like I said, I trust in them. I trust that they know that process, and realistically, I'm gonna watch regardless. So I ain't really got nothing bad to say.
Likewise, I wouldn't be surprised if the Street Profits ended up turning heel as well. Anyway, that would be kind of crazy. But then it's like, yo, who are the remaining face teams on SmackDown right now? Like,
case in point.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that because you turn DIY heel, you hold off on that heel turn with the Street Profits and just make them a little more edgier, but still keep them babyface. Like, okay, they ain't gonna take no shit, but they're not heel. They just, they're just tired of the bullshit, but they still gonna get the audience, up. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I think it's time to split, bro. I thought New Day should have got split up too when that happened. Like I thought Kofi and Xavier should have still went their own ways, but regardless of the fact, I know that they're gonna cook, they're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
My bigger thing is just like, bro, I think Xavier, if anything, as a run, if you want to put a title on him so that he can have that accolade, bro, like Raw is a good chance for that heel run to make him be like, all right, well, now we putting that world title on you down the stretch, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see him have like the Intercontinental Championship one day. And shoot, if he gets a world title run, that'll be even crazier too. It's like, damn, all three members of the New Day were world champions at one point. That would be a great story.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Outside of wrestling though, I know for sure that their actual group chat got to be hilarious. They got hilarious because the way that Christian, for those who don't know, Christian is Mia Yim's sister, and she's the one that's dating Big E. She was cooking this.
Yo, frying that ass up, boy.
On Twitter. Man, if I'm Austin, I'm like looking at my phone like, damn, Chris, you ain't had to cook me like that.
Yo, I'm not showing up to the Friendsgiving. Like, you know what? I ain't want your casserole, no way. Now what? Where we go from here, huh?
Oh, they got to be like having a ball in there. Like, yo, you see the way that Big E was quivering at the end, man. Like, if I'm Kofi and Xavier, and I'm like, yo, bro, y'all ain't shit for that.
That single tear that came down.
Dog, if I'm Chris and Mia, I know they were just cooking them on Twitter. I'm like, yo, this is hilarious. I want to see what that group chat looks like. I know they're cooking them in the chat too.
Yo,
like matter of fact, I had a Christmas gift for you, but you know what? I'm giving it to the Salvation Army. Dog, that is hilarious, and it's just crazy because we said this on Twitter. I'm like, so you mean to tell me that Xavier Woods and Kofi get to have relationships, but Big E doesn't? He can't be happy, bro? Like, what are we talking about?
Yo, bro, it was hilarious, G. The way that they played that, and he was like, you broke your neck, so what? I'm like, what you mean?
What you mean, so what? They're like, Kurt Angle came back with a broken freaking neck. I'm like, Kurt Angle got the broken neck before he was in WWE.
I'm saying, G, like, bro, what we talking about? He brought up Edge. I'm like, yo, bro, you bringing up people from other like, bro.
I was like, it took Edge 9 years. We only on year 2 with Big E.
They said, and you didn't even need surgery. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's yikes. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, and from an emotional standpoint, that whole thing hurt my heart. But you know what? It works, and I'm looking forward to seeing what WWE has in the new year, because we know we're about to get a couple more shows, and then everybody goes on Christmas break. Saturday night's main event is coming up this weekend. It'll be interesting to see. I'll get a chance to talk about that hopefully after it airs, and we'll do another episode and talk a little bit about that. The next time that Vonny is on, hopefully we will be having a special episode involving wrestling. So stay tuned for that, y'all. We got something in the works. We got some good shit planned. And again, y'all will hear from me doing my top 20 hip hop albums of 2024. I can already tell you, like, my top 5 I think is really, really, really solid. It's just the rest I got to figure out. So there's that. And if, in case you're wondering, Doechii is in one of those top 5. So
I was about to ask that.
Yes, she is. She's in the top 5, as well as who. For those of you who know who I'm a fan of, you already know. Tyler's in the top 5, and then I'm gonna just leave it at that. With that in mind, you got anything else you got to plug, Vonny, or is there anything else that you want to give final thoughts for?
Final thoughts. I'm gonna let off again. I think that this was one of the better PLEs of the year. Wrestling is in good hands. Support your local indie wrestling shows. Support local Black wrestlers. Support local wrestlers of color. Everything under the sun. Put some money in their pocket. Go wash your face. When you show up at these shows, wash your ass. I'm tired of smelling your funky ass. Stephanie Vicaire created wrestling. We all walk in her footsteps. And yeah, last thing I guess is, bro, I got a project coming out. Little thing gotta means that, Kev, you and we got to talk about again. It is 90% done. We at the point where things is about to release. This was supposed to come out like months ago, but here we are. I'm gonna let you see some of what's going on, bro. I promise you it's fire.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I am looking forward to seeing that and hearing from you regarding your project. And as he said, be sure that you support your local indie wrestlers and support your local indie Black wrestlers. On top of that, support Black wrestling in general. We out here, we talk about wrestling all the time, and even though not all wrestlers are Black, we already know that our Black wrestlers are going to be at the top first and foremost of our heads. So I can't wait to see what all of our Black wrestlers, whether they are indie or whether they are a part of a main promotion, what they have in store for 2025. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up with the rundown, though. So for those who don't know the rundown, we give a shout out to all the Black businesses, podcasts, content creators, artists that have supported this podcast or have been a part of this podcast. So you already know Shogo High and Inside the Mind of a Blur. Those are the other 2 podcasts that I'm a part of. Definitely big shout out to the gang out there. Mic Check Waifu, definitely still doing their damn thing every single week. If you are into seasonal anime, please be sure that you check them out. Shout out to, of course, my boys Polo and Tell. Of course, Blaname podcast. They are sometimes on and off, but definitely shout out to Mike and Sine. They got more work coming. I already know. Whenever Worst Gen decides that they are going to come back, big shout out to them as well. Truth and Transparency podcast with Brother X, the culture scientist, and Mr. Smith. Shout out to Kay Renee. I don't know if she's going to be doing a podcast yet, but definitely be sure that you check out her novellas under the pen name Sedona Rose. It's So Real with Okela Nonaji. Dad Needs to Talk with Rob, the father of Ash. Analytical where shit gets critical. Geek Set podcast. Anime Junkies 3 Weaves in the podcast. Those Anime Girls, The Commute, and Black Geek Energy. I got to get Jared on here one of these days because Jared asked me kind of a funny question. And that, Jared, for all practical purposes, doesn't listen to rap. But I was just talking about how Rhapsody just cooked in her latest freestyle. And this man said, "Who's Rhapsody?" And I had to I almost had a heart attack, but I remember. Wait a minute. Okay.
He's like, "Boy, I'll fight you."
Yeah, I almost said that. I'm like, she's a dope female MC, bro. One of the dopest out there, if not the dopest out there. There's more than just Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Rhapsody goes stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah, but he was on board because he was like, he heard part of it and he was like, "Oh, I think more people should go off on DJ Academics." And I'm like, matter of fact, I'm not only with you, I encourage it. So there's that. For our Black content creators, big shout out to Off Black Mag with Aaron, HBCU Anime with Evan. Big shout out to Sundari with Erica. Big shout out to Cerberus Entertainment, Tatapoodle, Geechee Gamer. I gotta say this because this is the last time you will hear about Icarus Metro Comics and Icarus Studios. Unfortunately, Calvin is closing the doors to Icarus.
Wow.
I'm definitely sorry to hear that, man. I've always seen Calvin at whether it be BlurCon or whether it be at DreamCon. He's always like promoting his work, and unfortunately, he is closing the doors to that comic world. So big shout out to him. I know he's got some other ventures that he's got going on, but Calvin, whatever ventures that you have, please continue to do what it do, man. You know you got my support. And if there's anything that I can help with, whatever you got going on, just please let me know. But yeah, big shout out to Icarus Studios for what they've been doing for like the past 3 or 4 years, man. And it's sad to see you go, bro, but I know you got things that you got to do. So with that in mind, y'all already know Hubtaku, shout out to the gang. And of course, shout out to Shelby with Simply Janine, Simply Baked, and Roseless Travels. Shout out to Strange Keith with Idols to Icons, Toasty Marshmallow, and of course, the Corner Five, Simone, Courtney, Five, Chris, and Sham.
Ladies.
And, yes, and Blurred Mind Studios with Scuba Steve and Alpha. For our Black artists, shout out to NASA, Scoozy, Jack Union, Phil.me. It's Ellis Quinn. Ellis Quinn actually just took a picture with Busta Rhymes, and I'm jealous as hell. So shout out to you, bro. RJ Stackhouse, Quarter, Tyrone Lee Jr., Ari Lachelle, who once again, if I hadn't mentioned it, was actually just became hired under the Recording Academy. So definitely shout out to her. She's going to be working behind the scenes at the Grammys, I believe. So big shout out to Ari Lachelle. Shout out to my boy Zach Hines and Fortresses. Shout out to Elena, and I got to have Elena back on here because she actually just wrote a book, and we got to talk about it. Shout out to Zaynab, and of course, shout out to Imogen. Imogen just had one of her singles played on the radio in DC, so big shout out to her. I love Imogen. That is my homie, and I can't wait to have her back on here again. And for our Black businesses, shout out to Already Paid by Dre. Dre's actually about to go ahead and get his master's, so big shout out to you, bro. Fresh Nurse Righteous Minds by Timo, KSS Brand by Christina, Cream Cosmetics by Naima, Mine for Money by Tremaine, Studio Maho with Pat Yin. Big shout out to Concept Moon. Shout out to She Designs 2 with Aaron. Shout out to Black Magic / Lit Wands with Lo and T. H4 Creative by Zenobia, Real Estate Stone by Meredith, So by Bell by Mariah, Blurred Mind Studios once again. Shout out to GVGVO with Miss Nasa, and of course, shout out to Scrappy Sentiment with Sappy. And be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Please be sure that you follow us on your favorite DSP. Subscribe to the Patreon for early access to the podcast and bonus content. You can subscribe at any of the 4 levels, whether it be $3, $5, $7, or $10. Once again, we appreciate your support. Please be sure that you follow us on our Facebook page at Chaotic Culture Podcast. You can also follow us on Threads and Instagram at Chaotic Culture Pod. You can follow us if you choose to on X/Twitter at Chaotic Culture 1. Again, if you choose to. Definitely be sure that you follow us on Blue Sky at chaoticculture.bsky.social. And real quick, Vonny, where can the people follow you?
Ooh, so me, you can find me on all platforms at ihatevonny. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me everywhere under the sun. I Hate Vonny. If you don't know where to find me at those places, is literally ihatevonny.com, and then go from there. You can follow the main hub, which is Hubtaku, HBTKU, on all platforms. Again, we got a website, hubtaku.com, that you can go in and tap into. Make sure you check us out on those platforms as well. I do some work for Exodus Pro. Obviously, I was promoting them. You can find them, Exodus Pro Wrestling, on platforms, XO Pro, things of that nature. You'll be able to salute them. Got some great stuff going on. And bro, just if you see me, say hi, do what you got to do, take a picture. Let's go support these wrestlers and make sure they get the shine they deserve.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Speaking of YouTube, of course, be sure that you look us up on YouTube at Chaotic Culture Podcast. Like the videos, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You already know we got more views on YouTube than we do anywhere else as far as listens, which is kind of crazy, but YouTube is our biggest audience. So big shout out to y'all for the continued support of this podcast. You can follow me, Ket the Pro, that's K3D the Pro, on all social media. You can follow Law on Instagram at L.JR_96. And you can also follow him on X/Twitter at Law96_. You can follow Miss Nasa on all social media at I'm Nakaso. You can follow Miss Sappy on all social media at Scraps14. You can follow Jay at Jay Lee Trey on all social media. And of course, you can follow Scuba Steve at Scuba Steve1428 on all social media. This has been another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. So until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, chaos rules. Be blessed, be safe. God is love, and we are out of here. Deuces.
It's the KKP on your mother flipping airways. Hear the name ringing through the halls and the stairways. You were listening to a pod that can segue. All the latest topics guaranteed to fill your headspace. It's a safe place to voice your opinion. Say what you feel just like you're a kid again. Kid to pro and friends, black as obsidian. Chaotic culture, that's the world we living in. So what's the word?
You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. And